there, questers of the High Queendom. Your Marquess of Magi is here to declare her TBR for the Book Junkie Trials 2019. So if you are still unaware of what the Book Junkie Trials is, it is a 1-month map-based read-along with teams. This readathon was created by the Queen herself, Rachel Marie Book Junkie, and I am one of the co-hosts leading the Mage team. If you do require any more information about this readathon, I will link my announcement video up here. So for everybody else who does know what the Book Junkie Trials is, I am here today to declare my TBR. Now, I am only going to be declaring the books I will be reading for the Mage path here today, and that is because Bookopoly is still happening. Bookopoly will be here on Sunday, and as you only have to declare the books that you're reading for your particular team, this will be my TBR for the Mage Path line, and then all of the books that come up in Bookopoly, I'm going to double up where I can just to make things a little bit easier for myself, and then any of the other books that I can't double up on, I'm going to fit into some of the other locations on the map of the High Queendom. So this isn't going to be a very long video, as I only have 5 books to show you, and one of them is the group book that we are all aware of. Before we get started on my TBR, I did just want to show you the official Book Junkie Trials team candles. If you haven't been on Twitter, or if you haven't seen my vlog from last week, you may not have seen these yet, but essentially Her Royal Highness asked me to make a few candles to make this readathon a little bit special, and all of these candles are available from my website, which is graceandhoneyuk. The link is in the description box, as well as a 10% off discount code if you would like to get hold of your team candle. I will just run through them quickly here. If you would like to know a little bit more about each candle, I did go through them in detail in last week's vlog. So for the bards, we have a floral theme of jasmine and rose petals with some pink glitter on a soft green background. The scribe candle is scented with lavender and bergamot, and this is a pale yellow with a blue glitter. For the Magi, we have mulberry and almond, and this is a rich purple with gold glitter. Then lastly, for the outlaws, we have a juniper and sage scented candle, which is emerald green with dark grey glitter. But as I said, these 4 candles are available from my website in the description box, but let's get into my TBR. So the first destination on the Mage path is Orc Grove, and the prompt for that is to read a book that is either gruesome, gory or gritty, and for that I have picked Confessions by Kine Minato. Now, I don't know anything about this. This is a travelling book, as you can see it's annotated. So myself and a group of bookish friends have decided to send a few books around, annotate them, and just like keep circulating them between us. This is the first one that I have received, and I don't know anything about this, and I don't really want to. All I have heard about this is that it is seriously fucked up. I think it's an adult thriller, and I think it's something to do with a teacher whose child died, and I think it's in a school setting, but that is all things. I don't want to know anything about this, and I'm kind of assuming it will be gruesome, gory or gritty, because all anybody says about this is that it's seriously fucked up. The next stop for the Magi will be Old Pirate Cove, and the prompt for that is to read a book that is at least partially set by the sea, and for that I'm going with Children of the Whales Volume 3 by Abi Umeda. This is the 3rd volume in a fantasy graphic novel series that follows 14-year-old Chakaro, who is the archivist on the Mud Whale. The Mud Whale is an island that floats along on the Sea of Sand, so it is a sea, but it's made of sand, so it counts. And one day they pass another island, and when they send out scouts to investigate what supplies they can find there, they come across the first human they have ever seen that isn't from their community, and that kicks off a whole chain of events. That's kind of just the kickoff point for the story, but I can't really say anything else without spoiling the first volume for you. But I have been really enjoying this manga series, and I absolutely love the art style and the story of this. Our next stop will be Glimmer, which is the most beautiful place in the High Queendom, and the prompt for this is to read a beautiful or colourful book, and I will be reading Illuminae by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. You have heard it. If it's on this TBR, I have to read it. This will 100% get read, finally. I put this on my summer TBR a few weeks ago and kind of gave a hint that it would definitely be read in July, and this is why. So Illuminae is the first book in the Illuminae files, which is a young adult sci-fi series that follows different characters every book, I think. I don't really know much about the plot of this, because anytime anybody talks about it, they tend to just mention the mixed media format in here, which is the reason I picked it for this prompt, because it's beautiful inside and out. But plot wise, all I really know is that it follows 2 teenagers who have just broken up the day before that the planet is destroyed by a big company. I think it's corporation, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm definitely excited to read this because J. Kristoff is one of my favourite authors, and I have been putting this off for a very long time because I think I'll enjoy it a lot, and that is how my logic works. It's flawed, it's very flawed. This will also be the book that I am using to fulfill the weakness for the Magi, which is to read a book outside of your comfort zone, and I'm using it because I haven't read many, if any, books that are told exclusively in a mixed media format. Our next stop will be the Draconic Isle, and the prompt for that is to read a book that features dragons, and for that I will be reading Storm of Swords Part 2, Blood and Gold by George R.R. Martin. This is the second part of Storm of Swords. The UK editions are split into two, and Game of Thrones is an epic, adult, multi-perspective high fantasy. I am hosting a read-along for this called the Catch Up Book Club. If you are waiting for the live show for this, it is going to be on the 21st of July. We've pushed it back because Rachel's on holiday, so I should have really read this already, and I should be moving on to A Feast for Crows, I think is next, but I didn't get around to reading part 2, so I'm going to be reading this in the first 3 weeks of July. And then lastly, we arrive at the Bookie Grail. The prompt for that is to read the group book. That is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. I have reserved my copy at the library, but I haven't got it yet. I'm not worried because it will be the last book that I'm reading. And I have actually seen the movie adaptation of this book, and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't seen it in years. I think the plot is that there is a falling star and it lands in this place, and I think it has a girl in it and somebody wants to marry her. I really don't remember, but I did really enjoy the movie, so I am kind of excited to read the group book. So that is it for my Book Junkie Trials TBR. Please remember that if you are a mage, you may start the readathon 3 days early, as that is our strength. So you can start your TBR on the 28th of June. I think I'm actually going to start with Storm of Swords Part 2, and even though if you go by the rules of the readathon you have to read the books in order, I dip in and out of George R.R. Martin books, so I read them in 50-page chunks. So I think on the 28th I'm going to try and start Storm of Swords and just slowly read that up until the day of the live show. Please let me know if you are participating, if you are a mage, and what is on your TBR. Please also don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you head into my description box, you'll find a link to my Goodreads, Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website where you can get hold of the Book Junkie Trials candles, as well as a 10% off discount code. But that's it from me today, guys. Bye!
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.